Saturday, the 8th of July, 2023. Welcome to the main news on Camnet TV. To present it, my name is Makokwa Kozi. First, we take a look at the stories making the headlines. KALABA accuses the British envoy of trivializing serious national matters. President Hakainde Hichilema urged to cut on foreign trips to concentrate on addressing high commodity prices. Non-state actors to protest against delays to resolve KCM and MOPANI mine challenges. In international news, Zelenskyy says Black Sea should be a space of security cooperation. And in sports news, government says it is keen to support grassroots sports development. We have more after this break.
On Monday, 10th July 2023, on National Matters, we take a look at human rights concerns in Zambia. Join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba.
Our role is to be constructive, to help build the country. We are not hostile, we are not political enemies. For us, the rivalry that we share is just to ensure that this country is run better.
Ministry of Information and Media Director Spokesperson
There is construction going on in every constituency in Zambia.
And Zambia Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga.
People have been issuing derogatory statement against the head of state, defamation statement, bordering on defamation. We have just gone to pigeon like a fish, just get them and take them and bring the police and they're arrested.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages. Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you very much for joining us, and now the news in detail. A Lusaka family that has fought a 3-decade-long battle over a now controversial baobab land is calling on President Hakainde Hichilema, who is the custodian of all land, to resolve their dispute. The Nyoni family, through its spokesperson Leonard Nyoni, claim to be the true owners of the land in question, adding that it was bought by their late grandmother Violet Nyoni in 1974 from the father of their oppressors. The Nyoni family tells Camnet News that the white man in question allegedly claimed that his late father refunded the family in order to get back the land, when in fact not. Here is a report.
After mounting a 3-decades-long battle over the now controversial baobab land, the Nyoni family is now calling on the president to come to their aid. The land in question, which is 120 hectares, is situated in Makeni, Lilai, adjacent to Baobab College, a prime location for commercial residential development. The family says it has been residing on the same land as far back as the 70s to date. According to the Nyoni family, the owner of the disputed land is the late Violet Nyoni, who settled on the land in the 1970s after transitioning from being a transporter into a farmer. She decided to acquire farmland from a white man farmer and began a journey as the first black woman commercial farmer in Zambia. However, son of the man their late grandmother purchased the land from is giving them sleepless night, as he claims that his late father refunded the family back the money in order to get back the land, when in fact not.
First of all, he claims that he refunded the money which was bought to the family, which is not true, which is very false. He's well known for grabbing land and not giving consent. That is his tactic of dealings. He says he's selling a piece of land and he never gives you the consent. And then after some years he comes back and says it is his land. So basically the claimant is claiming that we are not the owners of this land and that he owns the land simply because he holds the title. And basically we have the evidence that his father sold the land to us and he's never made any refunds to our family concerning the land, and that's where we stand with this issue.
They are now calling on President Hakainde Hichilema to address their plight, as all means used have failed. The land battles over the years turned into a nightmare for the Nyoni family as they try to protect the land left for them.
including the caveat which we had actually put on this farm for the white man, Mr. Van Black, and which has been consequently ignored till to date. So we are appealing to the head of state to say, sir, could you please hear the Nyoni family's plight of what has happened, the injustice, the corruption, and all the bad vices that you stand against, that, sir, can you please attend to our family with the quickest of speed. This issue has taken us over 50 years to be heard and to be sorted.
Meanwhile, those close to the family also added a voice.
The issue of the Nyoni stroke Baobab land is very, very straightforward. I grew up in this area. My father, Ambassador Honorable Keri Warubita, former Foreign Affairs Minister, has a farm just next door here, next to the Zambia National Service Land Development Branch, LDB. So you see, it is very surprising that the neighbor here, John Van Black, can remain incorrigible to try and usurp and claim ownership of this land. You see, even in the courts of law, the court determines a case based on the presentation of credible documents. But what has been surprising in the past is that also the judiciary, the High Court, in the past has let us down. We are confident now that the team that is led by His Lordship, the Chief Justice, Mumba Malila, we have got all the confidence that this issue now is in safe hands.
Recently, the government said it had newly deployed the Zambia Integrated Land Administration System to address issues of long-standing land dispute in the country. However, wrangles over land in Zambia continue to be on the increase. Miriam Kaimba, reporting for Camnet TV News.
The African Methodist Episcopal Church, Gardenside 3 Jordan Chapel, has stressed that the church has the responsibility to uplift livelihoods for the people in communities it is found. African Methodist Episcopal Church Reverend Richard Ngulube says they feel duty-bound to play a role in creating a conducive health environment in the communities. He made the remarks when they donated assorted items to Chipata First Level Hospital in Mandevu constituency worth over 21,000 kwacha. We have details in the following report.
They say development is a collective effort, hence the government alone cannot single-handedly foster national progress. The church is certainly a key government partner towards alleviating the sufferings of the people in various social sectors such as health. With the resurgence of the COVID-19 pandemic, partnerships cannot be overemphasized. As of the 6th of July 2023, the country had 836 active COVID-19 cases with 7 admissions and 829 under community management. The African Methodist Episcopal Church Gardenside 3 Jordan Chapel donated assorted items to Chipata First Level Hospital. The church undertook a cleaning exercise, provided masks, cleaning materials, and hampers to patients, among other things. Reverend Richard Ngulube says the church feels duty-bound to play a role in creating a conducive health environment in the community.
This is not the end. This is just the beginning of what this church is going to do, because this church is situated in here, where the location where this hospital is. So because the members are coming from this location or this locality, so it becomes important, as stated in the Bible, where Jesus said that I was sick, you visited me, and they asked, where did we visit you? And he said, when you visit one of these thy people, then it means that you have visited me. So our coming here to come and present these donations is because we want to be relevant within this community where this church is.
Meli Mvura is sister in charge at Chipata Level 1 Hospital, who expressed gratitude for the gesture, saying it will go a long way towards delivering quality healthcare services.
On behalf of the hospital, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the church for having come through to us. As they have come, their good gesture has been well received. We are thankful since they've done the cleaning for us. They've helped us clean the hospital environment, which is good for our patients. Even the donations that they've brought, it really goes a long way. The bed sheets will help our patients. Even the cleaning materials we'll be able to use in caring for our patients.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
A 54-year-old man of Lusaka's Chazanga area has thanked the Abel Musumali Foundation for coming to his aid and helping him with various groceries. Elias Chividime says he struggles to feed his family after his wife abandoned him when he got sick. He is thankful for the support extended to him by the foundation. Meanwhile, the foundation chief executive officer, Abel Musumali, says many Zambians still live in extreme poverty, hence the need for various stakeholders to come on board and assist. We have details in the following report.
Zambia is a landlocked country in sub-Saharan Africa with a huge number of people living on less than $1 a day. Although Zambia is the world's 9th richest copper deposits, 3 out of 4 people are living in poverty. Saturday, the Abel Musumali Foundation took time to donate various items, among them mealie meal to vulnerable individuals. Given that a 25 kg bag of mealie meal is costing between 215 and 230 kwacha, for the beneficiaries, this gesture was more than what they could wish for at the moment. One of the beneficiaries, Elias, says he struggles to feed his family after his wife abandoned him when he got sick.
Alisha msiti market nombo mulando wakuputana mafia aparangefi. Shinonshikumbira fesa pato panganda so bungo bunatotera sana. Kuri Abel Musumali lesanga banaime please na papata walanja fuisha ko muri twatuno tunchitoto mbombo twakwera ko tusapato tibwanja fuisha ko kulingana n'eshukuru n'abana bandi kutira n'abasongira mu nabambi abana ndiyo bora palamina na benda lesanga mipala ko soko mafana kumakulaya.
The foundation has been called on to continue with such a project of helping the vulnerable, especially the old age.
Going to get this mealie meal, it will really help them because in our community there is poverty. People don't have food, so it will make us a difference. Yes, they'll have food at the end of the day.
Meanwhile, the foundation CEO, Abel Musumali, says many Zambians still live in extreme poverty, hence the need for various stakeholders to come on board and assist.
As a foundation, we wish to continue doing such kind of work because we believe that out there levels of poverty are so high, and we shall forever continue living with people that are poor. And at the end of the day, it is the responsibility of everyone to take care of somebody that is in need out there. So as a foundation, together with the church, we mobilized about close to 18,000 to purchase these bags of mealie meal, and also the beneficiaries that have come, we are also providing them with transport. So basically, no beneficiary is supposed to spend money like maybe jumping on a bus. So mainly these are the old age people, and if you saw those that have come, mainly they are old age. They are also people that are living with a disability.
Miriam Kaimba reporting for Camnet TV News.
The United Party for National Development, UPND, says what is happening to the former President Edgar Lungu's family is not a political witch hunt, but seeking closure to crimes that may have been committed during his tenure of office. UPND National Deputy Youth Spokesperson Phineas Pumulo says what is happening to the PF is a reflection of the wheels of justice. And Mr. Pumulo says no one is victimizing the former First family as alleged during their recent press conference, but that it is just the enforcement of the rule of law.
Tasira Lungu and his siblings, they must understand that their father had occupied the highest office of the land. and he had swear to protect and to uphold the constitution. So what actually is happening right now, it is not that it's a witch hunt, no. This is the wheels of justice. If Tasira Lungu, if whoever is involved in this, because we have seen that there was too much of dishing monies. We have seen the kind of vehicles these people are driving. We have seen the kind of mansion these guys are having. It is simple. When you are called upon, go and explain. When you are taken to court, go and prove yourselves. I want to appeal to Tasira Lungu that she should reflect and go back to the tenure of his father. The father was the worst president that Zambia has ever had. It's through his father that we lost our colleagues. It is through his father that the country is sinking into this debt. So for her to say that his family is being persecuted, it is misplaced of word. She was just merely trying to get sympathy from the Zambian people. But unfortunately, we are now living in the 3rd century where people are able to differentiate between the bad and good. There's nothing that we are following the former first family. There's nothing that we are following. People must understand that if you do the wrong thing when you're in government, the rules of justice, they will follow you.
New Heritage Party President Chishala Kateka has challenged President Hakainde Hichilema to reduce on foreign trips and find solutions to the high cost of living. Ms. Kateka says the president should be visiting local provinces to understand the challenges and the challenges the people are going through. She says it is about time that government focuses on resolving high commodity prices.
It's very important for the government to pay much attention to this area. Zambians are complaining, prices are going up every day. The price of meal is extremely expensive, and there's no point of telling us to start eating rice, because for a Zambian, so we really appeal to the government to sit down and attend to this. Now, what we have noticed is that the president is traveling a lot, and we think that the time has come for him to spend time in Zambia, less time outside of the country, and begin to work with his team on resolving some of these issues. A person that is not in place, we would like to see him travel to Chipatamo, travel to Northern, to Muchinga, travel to Northwestern, travel to Western, travel to Southern, Central Province, every part of Zambia, so that he familiarizes himself more with what is on the ground. If he spent more time in Zambia, nganaba amonefi abantu baleedira.
Citizens First Party President Harry KALABA is disappointed with the statement by British High Commissioner Nicholas Wooley suggesting that Zambia is not experiencing a shrinking civic space. Mr. KALABA says people need to realize that high commissioners do not serve their interest or the interest of their friends in government, but they serve the interest of the government they represent. The opposition leader asks that if the fight against corruption is genuine, why people feel compelled to queue up and apologize to the president.
He's now enjoying a period of renewed democracy and the opening of civic space and the progressive moves and laws that have been introduced and indeed abolished that I've just spoken to are an important part of contributing to that and of course the efforts of Zambian civil society and its people.
The statement by British High Commissioner Nicholas Wooley suggesting that Zambia is not experiencing a shrinking civic space has not been well received by some governance actors. Mr. Wooley made the statement in reference to a question posed by Camnet News following concerns by Citizens First Party President Harry KALABA, among others, who have accused the foreign missions of being mute in the midst of what they termed as a shrinking civic space on account of political persecution disguised as a corruption fight. And on Friday, during a press conference, the Opposition Patriotic Front expressed a displeasure over the statement, suggesting that Zambia is better and well off under the United Party for National Development UPND administration.
We as a party are going through political persecution. There is no doubt about it. Our members are being tortured every day. Ambassador Wuli, among others, have been quiet. We are surprised that now he found it opportune to comment. To be very honest, we are all hurt. We are injured that it took that path.
And Citizens First Party President Harry KALABA insists that Zambia is experiencing a shrinking civic space as he castigated the British envoy.
People need to realize that ambassadors and high commissioners do not serve their interests or the interests of their friends in government, but they serve the interests of the government they represent. To choose to ignore the activities going on in Zambia in a bid to preserve personal relationships is akin to neglecting one's responsibility as an envoy, more so a bigger and historical partner that the British is. It is High Commissioner Wuli who was first to contact me when I was detained in Karulushi for having lunch at a member's house after attending church service. There is a report published by one of the US agencies that is talking about Zambia's governance, as the High Commissioner looked at the 2023 Global Peace Index and compared it with the 2022 index.
The opposition leader says if the fight against corruption is genuine, then why are some people queuing up to apologize to President Hakainde Hichilema?
If the fight against corruption is genuine, why do people feel compelled to queue up and apologize to the president? As Citizens First, we stand by the statement that the political space is fast diminishing in this country, and if any ambassador or high commissioner cannot see that, perhaps it's time for them to review their credentials and assess if they are still serving the interests of their sponsoring countries, or perhaps they are now self-serving. We want to echo our call for the respect of the rule of law, and that is, we call all envoys to Zambia to ensure that they come to a realization that as Zambians, we shall not be used to propagate ill intentions of individuals who are on a quest of self-enrichment at the expense of the suffering majority. Arrest people who have committed crimes, not because you want to weaken them politically.
Patrick Soko, Camnet News in Lusaka.
A bridge linking Kandakanda and Sandangombe areas in Solwezi district of the northwestern province has remained in a dilapidated state. Sandangombe Ward Councillor Manix Kapelembe has appealed to Solwezi Municipal Council to consider using part of its resources to rehabilitate the bridge. Mr. Kapelembe says the bridge is an important one which needs a total renovation by the local authority. He says he is engaging the Constituency Development Fund CDF committee on how best they can raise funds for the construction of the bridge. Mr. Kapelembe says due to the current state of the bridge, heavy-duty vehicles cannot use the bridge, hence using a longer route to access the area.
The link between Kandakanda and Sandangombe community, and it's very important. You know, this is an agricultural area, so during rain season water passes on top. So I'm lucky today the CDF committee has visited the area. The CDF chairman is with us and the area member of parliament is here. So I really wanted them to see this area so that as we apply for disaster, I think they will understand what we are talking about. So my appeal to the CDF committee is that they think of approving this project. Okay. They are facing, because if you check, the heavy-duty vehicles cannot pass here. Only small vehicles like this. So once this road is worked on, even those who are, you checked the road this side. So everyone who is coming here has to go by the tarmac, which is a very long distance. But having this bridge, it will shorten the distance, and hence making it a low cost to the farmers. Estimates 3 weeks ago, they haven't yet given me the report. I brought the engineers.
Non-governmental organizations has disclosed intention to hold a protest on the 12th of August 2023 over delays by the government to resolve the challenges at Konkola Copper Mines and Mopani Copper Mine. According to Advocates for National Development and Democracy Executive Director Samuel Banda, the COSOs will proceed to petition President Hakainde Hichilema over the matter after they protest. Mr. Banda regrets that the second quarter of the year has ended, but government has not yet made a critical decision on addressing the non-functionality status of KCM and MOPANI mines. And Zambians for Unity, Peace and Development President Ronnie Jere has charged that the issue of KCM and MOPANI has protracted for too long, saying the people of Zambia are slowly losing confidence in Mines and Minerals Development Minister Paul Kabuswe.
For a purpose of restoring and building national development, we wish to inform the public that due to the continued delayment by the government to address the non-functionality status of KCM and MOPANI, we shall exercise our constitutional right to protest on the 12th of August 2023. Of course, within the confines of the law. And we further wish to inform the public that after the protest, we shall proceed to petition our Republican President at State House over this matter. Our interest is to see our country develop a viable mining sector that will help us create the much-needed employment and business opportunities, that will help us to promote trade, commerce, that will help us grow our domestic economy.
As a consortium, we believe that the debt restructuring was more complicated than resolving the issues surrounding MOPANI and KCM. We all know that the previous government had to even hire a consultant to a tune of $5 million just to help government resolve,
We now take our first commercial break, but still ahead we have more in local news. Don't go away.
In our quest to save nations and develop Africa, Savenda is investing in the agriculture sector so as to produce supply for both local and international markets, housing over 12,000 pullets that are nurtured and fed with our locally made stock feed that comes from our own locally grown maize and soya beans, all processed from our recently installed milling and mixing plant. Our over 95,000 layers have an output capacity of over 1,500 trays of fresh eggs per day that are carefully selected and packaged for all the leading stores and supermarkets nationwide. Our greenhouses are fitted with the latest irrigation system, and the seedlings are nurtured to ensure only healthy plants reach the fields. With our deliberate planting schedule, we are better placed to supply constantly without interruption, thus reliable. Savenda Farms is also changing lives of its dedicated workforce drawn from the local community and beyond. So the next time you think fresh and green, think Savenda Farms.
Deborah, have you connected to the Wi-Fi on the bus? It's fast, it's amazing. I've just downloaded my books and I'm about to complete the series. It's nice, chew me.
No, I'm actually watching a reality show. He's about to propose. Oh, so sweet.
Make your trip seem short yet comfortable and safe when you use the UBZ luxurious fully air-conditioned coaches that come fitted with amazing onboard entertainment, passenger information services, coffee-making facilities and fridge for your hot and cold beverages, free and interrupted Wi-Fi for your gadgets, phone charging facilities, comfortable seats that recline to offer extra resting posture, safety seat belts, adjustable reading lights for each traveling client, and of course, clean flushing toilets for your convenience. So travel in luxury and safety with UBZ luxurious coaches. UBZ will always take you there.
On Monday, 10th July 2023 on National Matters, we take a look at human rights concerns in Zambia. Join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba.
Our role is to be constructive, to help build the country. We are not hostile, we are not political enemies. For us, the rivalry that we share is just to ensure that this country is run better.
Ministry of Information and Media Director Spokesperson Tabo Kawana.
There is construction going on in every constituency in Zambia.
And Zambia Police Spokesperson Ray Hamonga.
People have been issuing derogatory statement against the head of state, defamation statement, bordering on defamation. We have just gone to pigeon like a fish, just get them and take them and bring the police and they're arrested.
Invite others to participate through phoning on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp and text messages. Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Rain Glow partner.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. A civic leader of Solwezi district has disclosed that the local authority has bought a piece of land for the construction of a 1x3 classroom block at Kiawama Ward. Kiawama Ward Councillor Kakoma Matoshi says Kiawama Ward is the highest populated area in Solwezi, with only 2 schools, forcing pupils to walk long distances to access education. Mr. Mutoshi says to address the challenges that most pupils face, the locals secured a piece of land where they intend to construct a 1x3 classroom block. He discloses that funds for the construction of the classroom block has already been sourced through the Ward Development Fund, WDC.
At the moment we procured a piece of land, and that piece of land we want to build a primary school in Kiawama. As you might be aware, Kiawama Ward is the highly populated ward in Solwezi, but it has only 2 schools. So last year we thought of buying a piece of land under Ward Development Fund. So the piece of land was bought, and this time around now I want to put a 1x3 there using the Ward Development Fund for the people of Kiawama. So we wanted that school to take shape so that we avoid the encroachment from the people around that place. We want to see to it that the school is built so that we decongest the 2 schools that are in my ward. Yeah. About 750,000 kwacha for a 1x3, so that at least this contractor can do us a very good structure. That is the amount that we allocated to have that school built. It will be called the Kiawama Primary School. As you are aware, we only have Kiawama Secondary School and Roadway Mwepu. Now we want to make sure that the name Kiawama itself is on a structure. So it will be called the Kiawama Primary School.
In other stories, Zanis reports that President Hakainde Hichilema, who was accompanied by First Lady Mutinta Hichilema, were taken on a conducted tour of the Mausoleum by Acting Director of Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park, Eduardo Kwao. Mr. Kwao explained the rich history that surrounds the life of the late founding father who liberated Ghana as well as other African countries, Zambia inclusive. In maintaining the rich history, the Ghanaian government has preserved the first car that was used by the founding father, a table and coffin that was used to transport his body when he died in Romania in 1972. The mausoleum is also host to the late Nkrumah's wife, who died in 2007 and has been buried together with her husband. Ms. Hichilema also took time to reflect on the life of Nkrumah by laying wreaths in honor of her memory. And Mayor of Accra, Elizabeth Na-Sake, called on President Hichilema to tell the rich history of Ghana to Zambians so that they can visit the memorial park of their founding father. And the head of state expressed delight on his visit to the memorial park, which was actualized in reality the life of the late leader. President Hichilema said the visit to the memorial park has helped him deeply reflect on the vision and ideas that he had for the African people. Meanwhile, President Hichilema has encouraged the people of Ghana to unite and work together in order to foster national development. He made the remarks when he attended a service at Prince Emmanuel Seventh-day Adventist Church today.
I am not African because I was born in Africa, but because Africa was born in me. These words were pinned down by Ghana's founding father, Kwame Nkrumah. The late Nkrumah had a vision that saw Ghana, as well as other African countries, get liberated. Zambia is among other African countries that has benefited from the hard work of Ghana's founding father. It is no doubt that President Hichilema has taken time to visit the Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park to appreciate the rich history.
We have one by Robert Mugabe, Zimbabwe, Sam Nkrumah, yeah.
Many of us understand what he stood for, and really we must continue walking that path. Bigger picture, broader benefits for the people is really what is important. So his ideals remain as valid as they were then now.
And Mayor of Accra called on the president to encourage other Zambians to visit Ghana.
There have been a lot of improvements and success stories to tell in Ghana, and so I know that as you go home, you remember this day and you will share this day with many of your friends and colleagues to also visit us here in Ghana.
Later, the president attended a service at Prince Emmanuel SDA Church, where he encouraged Ghanaians to unite and foster development.
I want to say, let's worship our God with all the energy, with all the vigor, with all the love. And I know as an Adventist that other Christian communities, churches, other religions, for us, without the power of God, we wouldn't be standing here and addressing this guy in the role that we are playing in our country. So only God made it possible. For Zambians, they know what we went through, very difficult situations. It was like mission impossible, so many things standing in the way. But God opened the door. Yes. Now it's for us to serve Him.
I am praying at the end of your presidency, Zambia people can testify. That's the man. Yes. We have nothing against him. And that should be each one of us, CEOs, MDs of company X, wherever you work.
Sheila Masua, reporting in Accra, Ghana.
A 27-year-old man of Kalimangombe village has been arrested for attempted murder after he allegedly stabbed his uncle with a knife. Henry Nkazi allegedly stabbed his uncle when he was questioned about the missing bucket which they use for drawing water. Police spokesperson Ray Hamonga says the inquiry did not sit well with the suspect, who in turn got furious and stabbed the victim with a knife. According to the police, the victim, who sustained multiple injuries, is in a critical condition and solely dependent on a life-supporting machine at Katondwe Mission Hospital.
Police have arrested and charged Henry Ngazi, aged 27, of Kalimangombe village for the offense of attempted murder after he stabbed his uncle with a knife. This occurred after police received a report at Luangwa Police Post in which Popuri, aged 31, of Kalimangombe village in Luangwa district, reported that his uncle Wilson Mwanza, aged 49, of the same village, was stabbed with a knife by his nephew Henry Ngazi, aged 27, of the same village. This occurred on the 7th of July 2023 around 14:45 hours in Kalimangombe village of Luangwa district. Brief facts of the matter are that the victim, Wilson Mwanza, had approached the nephew, who is now the suspect, on the 7th of July 2023 around 14:45 hours, inquiring from him of the whereabouts of the missing bucket which they normally use when drawing water. Apparently, this inquiry did not sit well with the suspect, who in turn became angry and stabbed his uncle with a knife, and the victim sustained multiple stab wounds on the left and right ribs, hands, as well as on the forehead. Police rushed to the scene and confirmed the report and recorded statements from credible witnesses. However, a statement could not be recorded from the victim as he is in a critical condition and solely dependent on a life support machine at Katondo Mission Hospital. The accused is detained in custody and will appear in court soon.
We take another set of commercials. Still ahead, we have international and sports. Don't go away.
On Monday, 10th July 2023, on National Matters, we take a look at human rights concerns in Zambia. Join Pastor Moses Chiluba as he hosts Ambassador Emmanuel Mwamba.
Our role is to be constructive, to help build the country. We are not hostile, we are not political enemies. For us, the rivalry that we share is just to ensure that this country is run better.
Ministry of Information and Media, Director Spokesperson,
There is construction going on in every constituency in Zambia.
And Zambia Police Spokesperson, Ray Hamonga.
People have been issuing derogatory statements against the head of state, defamation statement, bordering on defamation. We have just gone to pigeon like a fish, just get them and take them, bring the police, and they're arrested.
Invite others to participate through phoning, on Skype, Zoom, WhatsApp, and text messages. Make a date with us. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Renglow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back, and now in foreign news, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy is in the early hours of Saturday held a joint news conference in Istanbul with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan after the two leaders held talks. Speaking about security in the Black Sea region, Zelenskyy said more significant efforts were needed to limit Russia's aggression. The Ukrainian president said the Black Sea should be a space of security cooperation. We have this and other international news stories in this roundup.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has held a joint news conference in Istanbul with Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan, where he accused Russia of blocking the movement of food across the Black Sea. Speaking about security in the Black Sea region, Zelenskyy said more significant efforts were needed to limit Russia's aggression. I am grateful for the support of the Black Sea Grain Initiative and the humanitarian initiative Grain from Ukraine. Recently, unfortunately, Russia has been blocking the movement of ships with food through corridors in the Black Sea as much as possible. Russia behaves as if it owns the entire Black Sea and is the master there. The peoples of our region need more significant efforts to limit Russia's aggressive ambitions and guarantee stability in the Black Sea region. The United Nations and Turkey brokered the Black Sea Grain Initiative with Russia and Ukraine in July 2022 to help tackle a global food crisis worsened by Moscow's invasion of Ukraine and blockade of Ukrainian Black Sea ports. Zelenskyy says it is important for the Black Sea to be a space of security and cooperation. It is essential to start acting with our partners in such a way that the life of the grain corridor and therefore the life of other people on different continents, including Africa and Asia, does not depend on the Russian Federation's president's mood. As President Erdogan said, we are all independent countries and we currently have this corridor, and it is not open but structured and complex because Russia blocks the Black Sea. Russia has threatened to quit the Black Sea grain deal, which expires on July 17 because several demands to dispatch its own grain and fertilizer have not been met. More than 20 anti-government protesters were arrested in Nairobi on Friday over demonstrations called by the opposition against newly imposed taxes. Hundreds of protesters turned out in the Kenyan capital as well as in the coastal city of Mombasa and the lakeside city of Kisumu, where the opposition enjoys huge support. How is this life? This life has become so hard. As it is, I am tired. Please lower the prices of petrol. Today I am protesting because of petrol prices. My wife has run away because of the price of flour and the hard life. I can't even pay rent because of the cost of living. The landlord is always at my door and there is no money. Police dispersed the protesters, firing tear gas canisters at them. The opposition had called for the demonstrations to protest the newly imposed taxes on petroleum products, salaried workers and businesses. We want him, William Ruto, to lower the cost of living so that every citizen can afford food to eat and educate their children. We do not have anything. We're working hard, but there is no money. He wants to tax the little money that we have in our pockets. What will we eat? If one has money, it is okay to be taxed, but we have nothing. Our young men can't even marry. They are unable to feed themselves. How will they feed those that they marry? On Friday, some businesses in major cities remained closed. The implementation of the newly signed law that increased taxes has been suspended by a court, pending the hearing of a case filed by an opposition senator challenging its legality. The government has, however, implemented the tax on petroleum products.
And now in sports news, the government has called for initiatives that are aimed to build, promote and grow sports at the grassroots level in communities in order to enhance the development and upbringing of young people. Ministry of Youth, Sports and Arts Permanent Secretary in charge of sports, Kangwa Chideshe, says developing talent from the grassroots helps to positively develop youths and the country to become a sports powerhouse at regional, continental and international level. Speaking when he officiated at the Sports Day for Handmaid Sisters, Our Lady of Annunciation Convent School at the Olympic Youth Development Center, OYDC in Lusaka, Mr. Chideshe said his ministry has a program with the Ministry of Education aimed at developing sports among young people. Mr. Chideshe said that previously there was conflict as people were told that sports and arts were distracting young people from academic work. And speaking at the same event, Ministry of Information Media Director spokesperson Tabo Kawana reiterated President Hakainde Hichilema's pronouncement that there is no minor sport in the country.
Previously, there was a conflict because we were told that sports and arts were distracting young people from their academic work. But I think under the new Dawn government, we understand that sports, arts, and recreation is essential to the development and the upbringing of young people. As you can see, there are young people who, some of them wind up doctors, others lawyers, and others wind up football players, singers, actors, and various other disciplines. So seeing this being promoted by schools is very, very essential. If we can continue on this trajectory, then we will be helping a lot of our young people.
Your government, through His Excellency the President, has stated on a number of times that there is no sport that is a minor sport in Zambia. And that is why government has continued to apply the same effort in terms of support to all sports disciplines regardless. For us, under this administration, it's about equitableness. It will be equal distribution for CDF, equal support for all sports disciplines, equal support for all education for all.
Now, Copper Queens captain Barbara Banda and forward Rachel Kundananji have expressed confidence of a good performance during the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup after a 3-2 victory over Germany in a historic friendly match.
I think my instructions first we started with the loss, then we came into a draw. So I think we worked on our mistakes that we had in these two previous games that we had. I think the team is ready for the World Cup, and everyone is pushing. We are determined. We are working as a team, and all together we want to achieve one thing. This is a dream come true because you know Germany is not a pushover team, but I think we've tried to hold them despite conceding the goals that we've conceded in the end. But I think we've done our level best, and we are still working on that. I think this camp has made us happy, and we have improved looking at where we are coming from, the weather and everything. The climate, we are really working on it, and we are adapting each and every day. I think today we had good communication, and the way we were recovering, positioning ourselves, I think we followed what the coaches told us, and we did our level best. It's the greatest achievement, you know, starting with a loss, a draw, then a win. Because this determines where we are going, you know, we are going to do our best, we are going to fight hard until the end. I want to make this as an habit, you know, scoring every game, and I just want to make it as for fun, every time score goals. And this is a great preparation for the World Cup, to see how ready I am for the next challenges. I'm excited, you know, it was just a dream, now it's happening. As you can see, I'm in the World Cup now, I'm going to play after dreaming for a long time. Okay.
To end the news, we take another look at the stories that made the headlines. Harry KALABA accuses the British envoy of trivializing serious national matters. President HH urged to cut on foreign trips to concentrate on addressing high commodity prices. Non-state actors to protest against delays to resolve KCM and MOPANI copper mines challenges. In international news, Zelenskyy says Black Sea should be a space of security cooperation. And in sports news, government keen to support grassroots sports development. And now before we go, let's take a look at the Camnet verse of the day, which comes from the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 8, which says, Jesus Christ is the same today, yesterday, and forever. That's it. That's all we had for the news. Don't forget to join us for another bulletin. On behalf of the entire production team, have a blessed night.